What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to The Den. If you're not familiar with The Den is a conversation, a community where we discuss a litany of things. And tonight we're going to be talking about masculinity. And again, if you're not familiar with The Den is about, we're all friends in the den. Whether we agree, disagree, different trains of thoughts. It's about understanding. It's about getting a chance to see how others view things. And, so sometimes we all agree in the den. Sometimes we definitely have differing views on particular topics. But again, it's about being respectful, but being adamant or whatever it may be about your point and expressing your point of view. Or then again, you could just be one of those weirdos who are just sitting around doing random weird shit that nobody understands why they're doing it. But, hey, that's just what it is. It's the internet we're talking about. But I want to say what's up to all my friends in the den. I hope that you are all doing well this Sunday evening. Excuse me. Got a couple things to get together. I was not necessarily running a bit behind, but I forgot that I'd moved some stuff around, and so I'm extra dark this evening because I've been out in the sunny sun, and the lighting is definitely throwed off, and I've been running back and forth up and down stairs because I forgot some shit and had to find some shit and all the other good shit. It's just a bunch of shit. So, but with that being said, we ain't tripping on that shit. We don't give a fuck. Or I don't give a fuck. We're going to have a conversation about masculinity tonight. We're going to talk about the modern man. Is manhood dying? Is manliness dying? Is the modern man becoming too soft? And before we dive into the conversation, let's see who we have joining us this evening in the den. What friends of the den are with us tonight? Well, first, let's get that off that. Let's get on the real chat. We want that real shit. You know what I'm saying? We want that gangster shit. Let's see who we have joining us. I see Jay Bird, Danny, Dominic, Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? Kenneth, Clown on. Let's see, and a bunch of crazy stuff going on. Hating Heidi. Let's see. McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? Rising Zaxby's, good to see you. And I think that is I think it's all good. Oh man, Texans don't play today. Texans fans are like, Bill O'Brien's play calling is terrible. He cost us not to play on Sunday. That's Texans fans for you, man. Like I'm telling you, it's just irrational. Motherfucker ball out. He needs to be fired. And then have no rational reason as to who you're going to replace him with, or any reason why he needs to be fired. Puts up 42 points. It's all Deshaun Watson. This has nothing to do with Bill O'Brien. Okay, sounds good, right? Well, why hadn't Deshaun been doing that every game? Anyway. We're not going to talk any more sports today. We'll try not to talk any more sports today, but you know how that goes. It doesn't always quite go the way we plan it. Damn it. But let's talk about manhood. Let's talk about man. Let's talk about masculinity. And what is killing masculinity? Is it society? Is it the choices of men themselves these days? I mean, what's going on? I mean, or is it the epidemic of men being raised by so many single mothers? I think, you can look into elements of all these things and try to figure it out. Is it the lack of after school programs? I don't know. Is it because I'm fucking hot in this bitch goddamn lights, even though they ain't even directly on me, they still fucking hot. And tonight on the Den line, we're gonna have another night. Might be like this for the next until Tuesday, but we'll probably just take text on the Den line. Because I figured out finally what the problem is as to why I couldn't just get it to, I was plugging it all the way in. It's a fucking, and even though the thing said it was supposed to be the way I had it, it's not. So I did a little bit of research and I realized I had a piece that was a little bit different. So it's the type of aux cord, because there's like 4 different types of auxiliary cords, and you have to look at the rings that are on them. And so I had to find the difficult task of trying to find one, and I was going to order one from Best Buy, and that would have took like till the 7th of November before it got here. And so I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And so we just primed timed it. We primed it up and It's on the way. Should be here Tuesday. So there's that. Monday. Look, Monday. Ain't nobody got time to accentuate the day. We already know it's a day. It's a day of the week. So, like I said, let's get into it. This will be the last of the Black Nights, because blacks are just terrible. But I realize, I don't know, like I said, I need to start chewing more gum or something, because I just have a thing about, it's either eating a shit ton of pistachios or smoking a Black and Mild or just eating too much or whatever it is. I don't know what the fuck it is. But let's talk about masculinity. And what's going on in the world with these problems now? A lot of people want to put and point fingers at the Me Too movement, and the Me Too movement isn't what's killing masculinity. You know, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. Now, is it affecting people that they view as some type of masculine? I don't know, because you take a look at, like I said, I always refer back to this incident, but you look at like the Aziz Ansari situation. It's not the most masculine guy. No, I'm not the most masculine guy. But, or however that fucking song goes, I don't remember. I skipped a part. I don't know if I skipped a word out of there. So fuck y'all. But, you know, and you just look around, and again, it's like I said, it's not always an attack on the most masculine thing. I think that's, some of these motherfuckers are just trying to take advantage of anything that has a penis. And they're just trying to, you know, oh, buddy won today? Brazilian Trump won? Congratulations to him. It's going to be a tough time in Brazil. So, again, you know, you look at it now, you look at the way men dress these days, the way they carry themselves, and I mean, it's different, you know? It's very different. Because as I was looking for, you know, pieces, I went and wasted money on an unnecessary auction. I'm glad I didn't buy that. I was about to buy an expensive one too, but someone told me that's to test that other one out first, and I'm glad I figured out what the problem was just after that. Went to Fry's. Took an old trip down to Fry's, and that was a fun journey. And went by Knox Court because I went to the Wally, didn't see any at the Wally. They only, because I needed a gold tip one or whatever. And again, you know, and it could be, you know, it could be of a gentleman of a different sexual orientation, but I would have swore that this dude was wearing some of the most ladylike pants that I've ever seen. You know, I know it's like, I guess the dress code with the red shirt, maybe black pants. I don't know if it's I'm guessing that's what it is. But those were lady pants. Those were mom pants. Those weren't. Just the resistors. But exactly, you look at the Young Thug, the rappers and things nowadays wearing pants. Now, I don't want to go too hard on it, because you go back and you look in the 80s, and motherfuckers there were suspect. Okay, that whole androgynous thing was in PCs. No penis chaps. That's what that was, because those were lady pants. But you go back and you look in the 80s, they were very androgynous. They were very strange. They dressed almost like women. And I don't know if it's a thing that was going on. It wasn't just, you know, it wasn't just Prince and his gang, and it was the rockers, and the rappers weren't so much. I think they were still wearing Adidas's and shit. They were wearing little suits and all that other shit. But even in the 70s, they had some suspect shit going on. And so you want to say maybe it's the way that they're dressing, that's what it is. No, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the clothes. I don't really think the clothes necessarily have anything to do with it. I think fashion is strange. I think it can be very telling, but it's not the clothes in itself. You know, I don't think that has anything to do with it. But I think it's the mindset that this society now, the more we embrace technology, you know, the more the genders, the two genders, try to find this level playing field of equality, you know. in the cities, most likely. You know, sometimes in the more country areas, you see those differences, you see those things, and you don't have to worry about those fashion. I don't know, some country niggas that dress bad. But we got to figure out what is it exactly that's causing this problem. So again, we kind of rattled off a list. You know, you can talk about the uptick in single parent homes. You go back and you look at, you know, when did it take place, 60, 64, something like that. You know, when basically it was okay, hey, you just be a single mom and, you know, government daddy gonna take care of you. Now we're not gonna put any masculinity in your home. You know, you figure the rest of that shit out, and you know, you'll get it. So if you don't have proper mentorship, you don't have, you know, proper leadership, you know, less and less kids are joining sports programs. They're mainly, you know, staying home, playing video games, mad because they wonder why women don't want to interact with them, upset because, you know, they're strange for the most part, and then they want to get mad and go do crazy stuff like hurt people because, you know, the incel grows inside of them, you know, and then it blows up. Yes, I mean, I agree with you on that about Trump. Because the Democrats, like, and that's the thing, man. We're going to talk politics a little bit. Democrats, again, like I said, I don't give a fuck about either side. I truly don't give a shit about your political parties. Cushington, male teenagers have low T now. I mean, that could be a thing too. You know, they have low T. They start acting like the Big E. I don't know, but that was a problem with the Democrats, man. And it's still a bit of an issue now. The Democrats just have no fight in them, like, because they're trying to appeal to the weaker personality almost, you know, and that's going to hinder them, especially corporate Democrats, you know, because then you're just kind of in like purgatory, because all the people that you're trying to root for, you don't stand for anything they stand for, but you're still trying to line your fucking pocket. So you're basically a conservative. You just say that you fucking care about these people, but you're really trying to milk it just like anybody else. So I think it is what it is. If you miss it, get your ass in the damn den, Cushington. Shit, get on the mixer action tonight, but I probably won't mixer till midnight. I'm gonna work out after the den, and mixer will probably be a bit later tonight. So my thing is this, though. Again, the Democrats, and right, even now they're not fighting. Like the whole Kavanaugh situation, they wanted to focus on, you know, like, because I don't really care that he did what he did. I guess you could say it was so long ago. You know, you feel like, what the fuck? But the fact that he was just blatantly sitting there lying, and that the Democrats were so fucking stupid and out of touch that they couldn't even catch the fact that he's sitting there lying to your faces, boofing and graduating and, you know, all that other shit that they was talking about. That meant this and that meant that, and the devil's triangle. And this motherfucker's just blatantly lying to everybody. You can't catch anything on that. You can't hang anything on the lies. You just wanted to catch that whole Blasey Ford thing, and nobody gave a fuck about that. So, I mean, it is what it is. Again, he basically set the table for you. But again, the Democrats had no fight in them. They were so stupid about the shit that they went and fucking, I mean, they fell for the okie doke. You know, they were looking this way while they were sneaking everything out the back door behind you. But it is what it is. But my thing is, getting back to the masculinity. Now, I think it could be the lack of the fathers in the homes. I could think it could be the programming. It could be, you know, the schooling. It could be this whole mentality of, you know, how we want to be fair. And I think masculinity needs competition. It needs something to conquer. So if you've never been a conqueror, you're going to want to fall in that part. Well, let's just all be fair. Let's just all be, you know, men and women. We're all equal physically and all. No, we're not. And I'm not saying that, like, don't get it out. Like, I'm not saying women aren't intelligent. They are. They're the best connivers. They're the best manipulators. But as far as masculinity feeds off what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it, I had the word in my mind. It just fucking fell out. It feeds off, it needs resistance. It needs the ability to overcome. It needs challenges, you know. And when you run from those challenges, when you're constantly running away from those challenges, when you're constantly avoiding that stuff, when we're in this, again, you talk about that daycare generation, excuse me, you talk about these motherfuckers who are spoiled in every facet of the word and have never met any type of opposition in their life. And then when they do encounter it, you know, they don't know how to handle it. You know, why stay with the bitch? If the bitch ain't worth the fuck, Heidi, and she's a shitty bitch, why don't they just give the cooking kids to the fathers? What's wrong with that? Why is the overwhelming majority of divorces, why are the kids automatically given to the women? You tell me that, and then we'll continue that conversation. You know, because my thing is this: as a man, you got to pursue your dreams, and if she's not going along with your shit, and you know, you're gonna have to do what you got to do. I know a lot of guys that would love to have their kids. I would know a lot of motherfuckers that would love to have their kids, but it just doesn't happen. So, you know, it is. These bitches get to act fuck ass, and the guy gets blamed for it because he doesn't want to tolerate her bullshit. I see no problem with that, you know, but it is what it is. Now, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. What if she got 5 kids? Usually not from the same dude. So why does she keep falling into the same situation? I guess all guys are just that good at manipulating, or maybe she should shut her fucking legs and realize if she can't take care of the ones she got, she don't need to fucking open them up no more. It's just my opinion, just my thoughts. It's that simple. You know, all these queens we have out here, you know, letting the whole kingdom fuck them, but they're queens. You know, it is what it is. I have not played Red Dead. I was still tempted last night. Y'all tried to convince me to get into it, but I said I'm not going to get into Red Dead because I already know that it's a game that I have been looking forward to playing, but I know that I would waste too much valuable time getting into it, want to play more, so, and all this other stuff. So I'll get into it later on. Again, I have to, I've been concentrating on streamlining my workflow and working on a process to where I can bring more sauce. Because again, like I said, I'm working on getting the site back in action. Working on the streams being a little bit better. Again, bringing some recorded videos. I was testing some stuff today, but I didn't get a chance to record it. I was just kind of testing it out. I was going to record a video, but I ended up not doing it. And then, you know, getting the podcast back regularly, because pay for the fucking podcast monthly, and if I don't fucking do them, it's just a waste of fucking money. And so, you know, now that the podcasts are available on Spotify and stuff like that, you know, I know some people say, you know, hey man, you start dropping those, it's easier for me to catch those. I've had a couple people request that I get back on that. So, I mean, it's just, it's not viable for me to fuck around and play a bunch of games right now, or play something that I just get that interested in, you know, because like I said, I'm a story-driven type person. You know, if it's a good, but that's the funny thing is, like, I'm a story-driven person when it's on a game, but or a good movie, but I don't like fiction books. Like I find that really strange. I don't like fiction books, but movies, when I do watch movies, because I've been late on a bunch of movies. I really don't get that. I'm not super into movies either. But you know, if I play a game, it has to be story driven. That's why I'm not. I mean, PUBG's cool, but I'm not like really into battle royale shit because it's just endless nonsense. But I fuck with PUBG just cause. Dominic, you're out on the farm playing with horses' dicks and chicken ass. So come on now. Watch yourself. Red Dead to redeem the mixer. Yeah, it would, but right now, it's just not the time right now. I know it would be the hot fire right now, but then it'd be a bunch of weirdos might start coming into the mixer, and they might be fuck up the mixer crew. But again, you know, like I say, but we're getting back to masculinity, and you know, just men not wanting to be men, not wanting to battle, not wanting to go to war, and I think that I don't know if you can just pinpoint a finger on it. I don't think you can. Again, you can talk about the single mother issue, which is a big issue. I mean, it is a real big thing because women will sit here and swear up and down they can raise a man, but most of them can't even control their own emotions. So how the fuck you gonna raise a man to be logical and functional when you don't know what you want to do 5 minutes from now or how you feel about it 5 minutes from now? So, you know, there's that. Am I going to cry? No, I'm not. I'm just going to laugh because I really believe you'd be out there on the farm fondling chickens and molesting horses. So, I don't know what y'all weird shit y'all got going on. But again, like I say, you know, it's just about the guys, and I want to talk about the male feminists, and I want to talk about the simping. I want to talk about, you know, stuff like that. And honestly, I don't think I can trust a motherfucker who calls himself a male feminist. Because what does that mean? That you hate your own masculinity? I saw a dude holding a sign, I think we talked about it a couple of days ago, maybe a week or so ago, holding a sign that basically said like all men are trash or all men are bad. Like, fucking weak ass bitch, you're a fucking dude. Like, so that means your self-deprecating rhetoric is just like it's almost it's like, hey, South City, what's the motherfucking deal? It's almost like, if that's the case, why participate in the action? Because it's almost, I wouldn't say it's an oxymoron, but if all men are bad and you're a man, then how are you helping the cause by existing? How are you helping the cause by even trying to put the word out? You're irrelevant, right? You're caught in purgatory again. Like you benefit nobody. You know what I mean? So it's just like, why? How? Motherfuckers with the believe all women shit, like, that's fucking whack as fuck. Because them same bitches that's sitting there that you trying to defend are the same motherfuckers that say if you ever talk to a woman, if you ever spoken to a woman willingly, which is how relationships get started, because women ain't fucking talking to nobody. You know, like, I give you a pass to talk to me if you ever wanted to, you know, acquire my attention. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Hey, like, if niggas wasn't out here speaking to women in public places or at the mall or at, well, I won't say work. Work is a bad spot. But, you know, you go to these clubs and you go to these things, you do these things, and men are bad for doing this type of stuff. It's, T'Challa. How are you this evening, T'Challa? Kellen Boys, what's the motherfucking deal? But yeah, a male feminist is not somebody that you can trust. Like, he's a snake. If a motherfucker don't like himself, what makes you think he fucking gives a fuck about you? I think all male feminists are just trying to take, like, they're hoping for some layup pussy. Like, honestly, oh, he's here to save me and he's here to support me. And they're like, that's not getting you any brownie points. It's like, it's getting you nothing. It gets you nowhere. Okay, well, hello to all 18 people. That's cool. The numbers don't matter. I don't care if it's 1. I don't care if it's 100. Like, numbers are irrelevant to me. You know, it's about the message. But it's good if people hear the message. So I guess numbers do matter slightly. But again, you know, people like that you can't trust. Because it's funny, because so many of these guys that end up saying, oh, you know, believe all women, let's trust all women, and I support the women. And then what happens? One of these women come back with, well, you touched me in 1993 accidentally on set when you dropped your fucking goddamn your script, and you reached down and you brushed up against my leg and hashtag me too. You know, I love women. I love women. I love them all. I love reasonable women. You know, and Mrs. Honcho, she's all right. Y'all just some haters. But my thing is, again, you have all of this bullshit in the media. Like, you know, I'm not a person I got my own problems. I got plenty of my own issues that I still got to fix. So I'm not a person that's big on trying to go save everybody else. Like, my thing is, I got like one shot at this thing, this thing we call life. And then after that, you know, it's whoever's left over, it's whoever's here. And so for me to be overly concerned about some other issues that most people who are, we would consider that, don't give a fuck about. But you realize, like, when it comes to the feminists, when it comes, Let's see if this works a little bit better, because Xfinity is, like I said, it was a streak that Xfinity was doing very well. And then it just all of a sudden just started back with the bullshit. Like, it was doing fine for a while. We weren't having any problems. It was actually, the streams were fine and nice. And then now it's been back on that bullshit the last week or so. But again, you know, it's always the weirdos. It's always the weird people. And again, you know, I see, you know, the reason why I feel this way is Xfinity, yes, Xfinity is ex-feminists. You know, women like to say they cheat better. You cheat for the better. But my thing is, talk about white women shut the internet down. That could be the case. If I was in here, if I was doing the Tommy Sotomayor, they'd be like, "Oh, keep it going, keep it going. We love it." But again, like I say, and you made a comment earlier before it was fucking up, that a gang of women, and this is why I will never be a supporter of the Me Too movement, because I think it's ignorant until you start addressing the same way when I talk about, you know, black issues, when they start addressing personal accountability. And this is not to say that there haven't been situations where blacks have been put in a negative position. But at the same time, you have all the ability in the world to maximize that shit now. And now we'd rather just sit here and complain about all the old shit that happened instead of seizing the opportunity now. And then we spend so much time looking in the past, we start complaining about why we missed out on opportunities that are happening right here in front of our face because we're worried about bullshit. And then the other rest of the time, everybody watching Empire and Power and all these other dumb, stupid fucking shows, and that bring no merit to their life. Like, I mean, and dedicated to them faithfully. You know, it's not about anything that continues to push this same agenda. Like, now I have no problem with watching shows, no problem with a show or anything on television, but when it pushes that same stereotype, and this is the same stereotype you sit here and holler and complain about, then doesn't that make you part of the problem? But talking about the sexual assaults that so many women lie about. Again, another story came out. He was one, I think that was he was in Tennessee or Georgia a couple of months ago with the two guys who were both NFL prospects. The chick said she lied, she had sex with him or whatever, but because she didn't want her boyfriend to find out. Oh, so, you know, I don't want to take accountability for being a scandalous broad. I just rather send these two niggas to jail, miss out on all their money and all that other stuff and their opportunities that their life could have in front of them. Because I can't admit that I'm probably not as upstanding as I'd like people to think I am. And then you can imagine all the pity and support she got for something that didn't happen, and she did this shit for years. And the funny thing about it, the fucked up thing about it is, are there ever any benefits for the men that this happened to? No, because most people don't follow up on these stories. And the men get nothing out of it. You take the old buddy from the Texans that it happened to. He hasn't played another down in the NFL. Not saying that he was really that good, but he could have earned a spot on a practice squad or something, you know, another attempt. Not even a team has called him. He couldn't go back to school to get his graduate degree. He couldn't do anything. Little small town dude couldn't do anything with his life after the NFL because a woman lied because he didn't want to have sex with her without a fucking condom. Because she was trying to hopefully get knocked up and thinking that she was going to catch some NFL dick and she was going to get a free ride. Bitch called you up until like, what kind of motherfucker fucks a bitch off Tinder, no condom, raw, the fucking first night you meet after a couple hours of chatting with her? Like, you a real risky motherfucker and you got to be a real sleazy ass bitch to be with that shit. But again, make money inside that. Pro-life, pro-choice. I think we had this conversation, and I think I ended up being pro-choice because, I mean, you just never know the situation. And, I mean, people got to deal with whatever they got to deal with. And so I think you have to have Mumford. Yeah, that's what it was. You have to do whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And, again, you see all these stupid motherfucking basketball players. Bitches talking about if I don't get $30,000 a month in child support or this much or this and this, then I'm gonna write a tell-all book. So you're telling me this mother is really truly thinking about the well-being of her child? You're telling me that this guy can't afford you know, to have his child well taken care of and not giving the child to him if she can't afford it? You know what I mean? I think he has the resources to make sure that the child is in good standing. If he can pay $30,000 a month, he can make sure that child is taken okay. So my thing is just this. It's like, I will not buy into it. And I'm not going to sit here and complain about, you know, more men's rights in the marriage aspect of it. Yeah. But outside of that, men are, let's be honest, we're winning because, I mean, you have all the other advantages, the physical advantages. I don't believe in the patriarchy, but nowadays, especially with the majority of men becoming more and more afraid to talk to women, they don't take you nothing but some easy ass conversation to get something going nowadays. And then, I mean, it's just so many other opportunities that, you know, physical opportunity, jobs that require more physical strength or physical labor and things like that. You have an advantage in these things. So the opportunities are there more so for the men. You know, but what do you think she doing? Say, if he leaves, you say, well, his baby really don't want children, really having to keep a nigga baby. Then when he leave, grandma got to raise it. Yeah. So why can't he give it to his grandma? Let her raise it. He pay his grandma $30,000 a month to raise it. He can give it to his own goddamn grandma. Give it to his goddamn mom. You know, but again, $30,000 a month. What child needs that? What child, I don't care if you make billions and billions of dollars, what child needs $30,000 a month in child support? You can't provide me a logical explanation as to why someone would need that amount of money to raise a child. People don't make that in a year. So you're telling me a dude who's out there and he makes, you know, $50,000, $60,000 a year, and he's going to probably be paying, you know, maybe, I don't know what the motherfuckers pay. I really don't know the percentages of the shit, but he's paying, you know, he's probably paying some change a month in child support. So he's probably spending, you know, $1,500 or so a month in child support. So let's say he's paying $10,000 to $15,000 a year. So he's failing his child because he can only give it $15,000 a year as compared to the motherfucker who's spending $30,000 a month. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm just saying, you know, if they take $1 billion deal, that the T in T'Challa stands for Tom, as in tomfoolery. But again, you know, it's bullshit because it's the broke ones that are suffering the most. You've seen the dude in Houston who was actually paying his child support. This is about 2-3 years ago. Was paying all his child support, and then what happens? Goes to jail because his wife went to court. He had no knowledge of the shit happening, because I guess he got a raise or something like that, and it was supposed to be automatically taken out of his check. So he assumed that his job was taking care of the shit, the withdrawals or the deductions or whatever. And because a certain amount wasn't coming out, he ends up going to jail. Not that he wasn't paying the child support. See another story about a guy who found out it wasn't even his baby. Well, the judge is like, well, you've been taking care of the baby for the last 2 years. It's your baby. You got to continue to pay child support. Like, that's the crazy shit. That's the crazy shit that goes on in society. That's about the worst you have at being a man. But that's, you know, what women bring to the table. We're talking about masculinity. We're talking about why are men, you know, not wanting to do the things that, I mean, you look back in the day, you know, hard labor. And I'm not saying hard labor is the sign of masculinity, but trust me, I've been on plenty of jobs. I'd bust my motherfucking ass. No problems with that. But now you got motherfuckers who, again, who don't want to, they can't even make contact with another human being. They don't want to play sports. They don't want to do anything. I mean, they just want to, I mean, the most sports they play is fucking Madden or 2K, and they think they have real skills. I had a little cousin, man, and I think he's a little weird, little suspect dude. Just because he could play 2K, which he wasn't good at, because I hadn't played 2K in years, and I played him and beat him, and had all the excuses in the world. Then I'm like, man, fuck this bullshit ass game. Let's go take it to the park. Swear up and down, you know, I could do this and I could do. Man, I beat this dude in some fucking flip flops. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, dog, when I was your age, like, I was playing in fucking AAU leagues, and I was playing in fucking summer leagues against like grown men. Like, I remember getting this fucking old ass dude. He was mad because I was working him over. Fucking elbowed me in my eye, split my shit, and I was about to bust this motherfucker ass. Like, the fucking our summer league dude was a fucking cop, so you know there's that. But Like, you know, I mean, we was ready to fight when I was young, man. We used to get into it with grown up. Like, I mean, these motherfuckers nowadays don't want no smoke. They don't want to they talk shit behind a fucking computer screen and feel like they're doing. So we talked about that last night as far as the trolling. I'm talking about this is gonna be my last night of my last black, and I ain't even burning that bitch. But you know, Eric Deere say Watson better than Mahomes. He's the only one. Again, you know, did Obama do it? Obama wasn't doing nothing for the niggas, and that was something. That was another thing. Because now, have y'all heard about this thing, Blexit? The blacks exiting the Democratic Party. So I think this is a thing, even though it's still a small minority. They should have child support cards. What the fuck? But my thing is, you know, again, it's not cool these days to be a man. It's not cool to be masculine. It's not cool to even have to work out. You like, I mean, think about it. Have y'all think about what's that place? Planet Fitness. You can't go and if your muscles are too big, or you wear a shirt that's too revealing of your shape, or you know, if women go there try to be, that's not masculine. But I mean, just like, because we got to cater to these soft ass people, not just soft ass women, but soft ass dudes. If you grunt when you working out, you'll get kicked out. Said men who don't want to touch animals like bugs, lizards, and fish. Like your pussy, that fish is smaller than you. You're scared of touching it because it's slimy. Crocodile hunter, master 8 out of 10. What? Only an 8 out of 10 for crocodile hunter? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, why does he only get an 8 out of 10? I'd give crocodile hunter at least a smooth 9. That motherfucker was out there chasing black mambas and shit. Like, he got killed by a fucking like stingray. Who does that? The stingray. It was an agent. The stingray was a double agent. That motherfucker was a stingray clone that was actually a robot, and they fucking fucking I mean, he risked it. He died doing what he loved. Which is the most awesome thing anybody can do, is dying doing what you love. Do you think he looked back if he was I don't believe in angels and stuff like that, but you know, I feel like you clock out, and then I don't know what the afterlife holds. But I mean, that's just because in my reasoning behind it, I'll explain it maybe later or one day. But I don't believe in that. But if there was a situation where you got to take a look back at your life, or they say your life flashes before your eyes before you die, and about 59 times, all kind of poison shit. He said, I saw a sign on the window at Kroger gas station that said, I'm still new, don't be mean to me. I'm trying to have a positive life. Okay, your new ass better learn how to do the motherfucking job, or that's gonna be your ass, Mr. Postman. You're gonna be another new at another job. But Brave Wilderness, it's on the internet, so people 40-year-old want to watch. Bro, man, I heard about that. I'm still trying to find out what happened to the Brother Nature dude. I heard y'all said he said some racist shit. It's another dude. What's his name? That black dude. Man, that motherfucker's a real one. The fucking real Tarzan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all seen him. That motherfucker, that motherfucker more man than me. That motherfucker was in there with a king cobra and shit. This motherfucker be wearing snakes on his head, be in there playing with tigers and shit. Like, I wouldn't trip on playing with like a tiger cub or a bear cub, you know, some shit like that. But I'm not getting in an arena with a fucking, I'm not getting in an arena with no fucking king cobra. You can kiss my fucking ass. Say whatever you want to say about me, man. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck that fucking cobra. Fuck some snake skin boots. Fuck all that shit. It's a dude he's on Instagram. He's called The Real Tarzan. And that motherfucker, he's live. He's live at 5. But like I say, it was stupid because, again, this is what I say, it's for my people, my black people. So brother Nature, I don't know what he was. I guess he was Hispanic or white or something. I don't know what the fuck he was. But I was on the Twitter sphere, and they're like, oh, you know, Brother Nature's a racist, so we got to find a new Brother Nature. And I found this dude, The Real Tarzan. This, like I said, I've been knowing about Tarzan for maybe like 2 months now. And so some chick puts him up there. Oh, this the new Brother Nature. Yeah, we fucking with him now. And then like 3 hours later, she found a picture because he took a picture on Instagram with like 3 white chicks. I don't even think he was touching the white girl. I think they were just like taking a picture. Oh, fuck him too, because, you know, it's like, why do people have to live up to your false standards? Like, and the thing is, it's standards that motherfuckers don't even be believing in themselves. You know what I'm saying? You say he was Hispanic with white on the inside. That sounds about right. Baylon, you say happy and just say good night. All right. Appreciate the like, Baylon. Don't be doing no weird shit. But like stupid shit. That's what I'm saying. Like motherfuckers don't. And this is what I try to tell people. Like, and this is why I hate, like, you know, I get flack for my thoughts on this, but this is my problem with my peoples, with my black folks. And people say I sound crazy when I say this, but are we not in certain aspects more racist to our own than the outsiders? Because one, most niggas don't fuck with a lot of white people or people outside their own shit, so they don't have those experiences. They hear about somebody else's experience and get mad. But you do interact with other niggas. And when you meet a nigga, they automatically expect you to believe and support everything that they into. Like, I'm not super big on rap music anymore. Like, I listen to a couple of motherfuckers. I still listen to some Nipsey Hussle. I listen to some Currency. I haven't been listening to as much H-Town shit, new shit, old shit I fuck with. Like, I still support the old shit, but I haven't been fucking with a lot of this new shit because a lot of these new niggas are weird. EDP got banned again. Damn. That's fucked up. And see, this is why I said that I'm putting in more work on the sauce bread. I want to do a site for the Den too, but I don't know what I would put on it. Like, I'm gonna get back on the Den podcast, but so, you know, you'll probably be like I say, like I'll drop that probably in the mornings or something like that. But I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly how I would feature that or how I would focus on that, because my thing is I want to make sure I start spreading this out. Like, I don't want to leave everything on, YouTube. You know, I don't want to leave all the sauce on YouTube, and YouTube says this motherfucker, the Texans have reported him because he's hating on Bob McNair, and they try to shut my shit down, and, you know, sauce is evaporated. You know, so like I said, it's about spreading this shit across. Like I said, the sauce site will be coming back hopefully tomorrow. I'll have some content up and have that back, and actually make sure y'all bookmark that. We'll be going back hard on the podcast daily again tomorrow. Like I say, it's just, it has to be spread across so that the brand is not in one place, so motherfuckers don't have, you know, that lockdown on you. But the thing with, like I say, with my black folks is just that, like, man, we automatically assume them, but it's because a motherfucker looks like us. They think, feel, and well, not they feel like we all feel the same, but they should feel the same way we feel about everything. They should think the same way we think about everything. You know, we all got to be Obama lovers. You know, we all got to fucking love rap music. Like I said, I like classic rock. Probably at this point, I listen to more classic rock than I do rap music. I listen to more fucking podcasts, like on Spotify now, than I probably listen to anything. I listen to more motivational speakers, like the classics, the old schools, you know, the Jim Rohns, the fucking Bob Proctor. He's still around. He ain't dead yet. You know, I listen to some old Napoleon Hill writings and shit like that. You know, Earl Nightingale, things of that nature. Than I do any of that other shit. You know, because like I said, that shit don't relate. I mean, it's not that I don't relate to it, but it's like, think about it. Why do we have this collective problem? Because maybe everybody needs to stop thinking the fucking same. Maybe motherfuckers need to stop doing the same shit. Maybe we can diversify. Maybe the opportunities will fucking open up. You know what I'm saying? Your skin folk ain't always your kinfolk. There you go, man. Got flagged too much. Said he was too violent when he went after the Eagles coach. Come on. That's stupid. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to have your own shit, your own platform where you can speak your own fucking mind. And that's why I say I'm finna really start stepping it up a notch. There's gonna be some differences, like I say, starting on the 1st of November. But I'm gonna roll it out tomorrow. Kind of, you know, give folks the updates on what's gonna be changing with Sauce Sports, you know, and some other shit like that, because it's time to take it to the next level for it to get to where it needs to be, and to see some of these opportunities. Yeah, I've seen a couple of urinating tree videos. It's not necessarily my bag. That's good sports. I seen him a while back. I find him funny, but I don't really watch him all the time. Say the young people producing the media are Honcho, age 22 though. Yeah, and they're soft and they're fucking weak because everything's been laid out. Everything's been easy. You know, again, I remember being fucking 14, 15, getting a little summer job and shit, fucking chopping wood, chopping down fucking trees, carrying fucking logs, throwing them in fucking fire, getting myself burnt up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Busting my ass, like, you know, fucking just hard labor. And I think everybody needs that. I'm not saying you have to resign yourself to a life of hard labor, because that ain't the way. When you get paid for your labor, That's not how you come up. You got to figure out ways to work smarter, and that's residual income. That's the way to make things where you can reuse it and continue to sell it, kind of like prostitutes do. But you got to figure out a way. I was joking about that before y'all start wilding out. But then you get smart. You know, I think hard labor builds character, and then you start doing, you know, you figure out ways to be smarter about it. So that way you can appreciate, you know, what other people are going through. You can appreciate, you know, what it takes to get somewhere, what it takes to build, what it takes to create. You know what I mean? When you have people who have never had to go through that, who've been nurtured their whole lives, who've had everything just handed to them, who've never had to struggle a day in their life, and then they create or they build or they start doing YouTube. That's why you see a lot of these fucking YouTubers, they're really a bunch of fucking pricks. They're a bunch of young ass fucking pricks who are fucking out of there, man. Like they're just fucking, it's crazy. How many times do you see these YouTubers get exposed for being a fucking asshole, for being a fucking some type of dickhead, for saying some off the wall ass shit? Because they try to fake being this character. Like, that's why y'all ain't gonna ever get no fakery from me. Y'all know exactly what y'all dealing with me. You know. And so my thing is this, and I do agree. I think coming up with hard labor makes everybody stronger. We do live in this sensitive ass, old bitch made ass world. And it is getting softer. Like, my thing is this, like, America tries to get softer and softer while everything around us is getting harder, getting tougher. And it's like we're so caught in our own little bubble, like we don't see it. We think the rest of the world is operating like we are, when, again, they're building strength. They're building, they're hardening their emotions. They're getting tougher. I mean, it's going to be a whole different situation, man. A whole different situation. But yet we worried about a bunch of bullshit, man. Like, that's really irrelevant, you know. But here's my thing. Let me see. I'm gonna open up the line, but again, we'll just take a couple of texts if y'all want to text some stuff in, because I'm waiting till that cord gets here, so that it'll be smooth. I won't have to be dealing with this shit, because that's part of it too. Like, for soft sports to be more quality, for the den to be more quality, you don't want to be sitting here fucking with the shit and it sounds all raggedy, phone calls cutting out in the middle of the shit. So that's something that's been bothering me as of late. That's just something that has to get fixed and has to get changed. Yeah, I think modern men have gotten soft. I think the NFL's gotten soft too. And I think there's a segment of men who are still who they are, but I think I don't want to say like all men have gotten soft, but I think the percentages are increasing on men who are getting softer. Again, being concerned with shit that it has nothing to fucking do with them. You know, motherfuckers are getting away, again, like I say, from being able to put in work. Like, if you're young, I recommend you go do hard labor. I recommend it just so you can understand and appreciate, you know, when you get to a certain point in life, what it takes. You know, some of y'all, you know, y'all might need to get in a scrap or two. You know what I'm saying? Or at least, and this is something that I've been thinking about really doing, getting back into. I just got, like I said, I gotta fix a couple of my little joint issues and stuff. So I gotta strengthen a couple of things. But get into some type of, you know, martial art or some type of fucking situation where you're frequently getting into confrontations and altercations. I mean, it can be controlled confrontations, and I think that helps a lot. I think when you do that, I think that helps you gain stuff. That's why you have a lot of these motherfuckers. Think about a lot of these people that, you know, Dominic looks up to. I ain't gonna say the term because they'll be trying to see. He said on a video. But a lot of these dudes who go back and they end up terrorizing school, these motherfuckers were usually a bunch of pussies. They were usually a bunch of weirdos. They were outcasts. They weren't really very macho, if you will. But you know what's so easy nowadays? Everybody for them to go grab a gun and do something off the wall. You know, and that's the crazy shit about it. I'm just saying, Dominic, that's what you mention this like daily. I won't even talk about the text line conversation. So I'm just saying I'm concerned about you, bud. But, you know, get out there and but go out there and fight, man. You got to fight. That's what I talked about. Masculinity is being weak now because nobody has to fight to overcome, to conquer anything anymore. Nobody has to, I'm not saying that nobody has to struggle, but nobody is, you know, encouraged to overcome that struggle. You know, nobody, you know, we talk about bullies and why I think bullies are good, because I think, you know, when you bully is just a challenge and you figure out a way to beat that challenge, you'll start figuring out a way to beating other challenges in life. When you overcome that bully, have you ever heard stories of people who talk about they've overcome that and how it changed their whole perspective on life? Because it's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's just like you got to, man. You got to. I don't know what kind. I really wonder where your mind goes sometimes, though, Dominic. You know, man, don't get scared. Get prepared. Like, and what it is because the media highlights a lot of this shit. It's a small percentage now. It grows when the media fucking highlights these motherfuckers and tries to make all this stuff about them. And then when you sit here and say, oh, well, they were just mentally ill and, you know, they had problems, and try to, you know, humanize them. And these motherfuckers ain't human. They didn't give a fuck about human life. These motherfuckers were senseless. These motherfuckers were heartless. They had no value to society. You know what I mean? When you start contributing, when you start creating, when you start building, when you put in work, when you contribute to society, you appreciate society. Now, I don't care if you came up and you know, you ain't had, you know, your family wasn't this, your family wasn't that. That's a lot of motherfuckers that's been through that. That's not a fucking excuse. That's just feeling sorry for yourself. You know, it is. It's just feeling sorry for yourself, because it's always somebody who's had a worse fucking life than you. You talk about, you know, we cry about problems here in America, but think about like fucking homeless kids. I want to say, was that Portugal or not Portugal, Brazil, or one of them P countries, one of those countries that we talked about, the fucking death squads that are sent out to kill fucking kids, to kill homeless children, because they, you know, doing what they got to do to try to eat and do all that other shit. It's homeless motherfuckers out there, you know, born homeless, and they've been struggling. Like, it's always a motherfucker with a worse story. The fact that if right now you have access to the internet and you watching this, it's somebody who has it way worse than you right now, 100 times worse than you do. And so that's why I say we got to stop getting this mentality of, you know, oh, well, let's nurture all these problems, man. You got to toughen up. And once you start seeing that you can overcome shit, your whole mentality changes. You know, when you start seeing that you can conquer shit, your mentality changes. What do you see with all these people who are crying about this, that, and the third, especially like that far left, because they want everything to be catered for them. They feel like, oh, it's the patriarchy, and, you know, this is this and this, but have actually never gone out and attempted to overcome anything. They just see some other people saying some shit and they just jump on it. Yeah, I felt bad one time and it's the fault because this is what happened. Not because you attempted to go and be successful. You gave up before ever even trying and just accepted it. So as the NFL has become soft, it's so unsurprising. Although I can't blame them for trying to keep the players safe. Defenders can't be defenders anymore. I agree with that. I mean, if you compare the NFL now to the NFL back then, motherfuckers used to get leveled. And I'm not saying I want to see people get out there and get injured. But here's the deal. When you go and you try to make it safe, what happens? Everybody else except the quarterbacks, you know, well, you gotta make sure that you know, you don't hit them this way or that way because, you know, and then what are people doing, tearing ACLs and fucking ripping Achilles and all this other shit because, well, but at least the quarterbacks are still safe. You know, as a whole, it's like, man, the shit is fucking, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. So I agree with that. So my thing is just like, here in America, we cry about a situation, and I'm not saying that it's not what it is, but you got to understand what America is, man. You got to understand what America has become. It's not what it used to be, whether you black, white, Hispanic, gray, purple, green, or blue. You know, if you're black, your ancestors might have been slaves having to work hard just to be in here. I mean, I'm saying not they wanted to, not that they were willing to, but like you know, some of them motherfuckers jumped off the boat because they knew what was up. You know, a lot of people had to work for things, build things, you know, by hand, you know, settling new parts of the country. Motherfuckers act like, you know, motherfuckers, you grow up in a city that has everything you need already. Motherfuckers used to live in the middle of fucking nowhere in a fucking cabin, you know, and fucking have to pioneer shit. Motherfuckers used to ride across the country in fucking wagons, dealing with all kind of unknown circumstances. No GPS. We fucking have a GPS goes out on us. We start crying. Oh man, I don't know the fucking way. Oh, this is fucking terrible. It's the worst day ever. Fucking GPS. We're like, if you compare it to life, what it was before, what people had to go through for all these things to come to fruition, it ain't that fucking bad, man. Y'all still keep talking about that fucking Red Dead. Fuck y'all. I don't want to hear about that shit. But, you know, I'm looking at the clock and I'm looking at the time because I said I'm going to go get a workout here. So I'm going to get ready to wind it down here. Or here's what we'll do. We'll till I finish this little Dusty Black, because I said it's going to be the last Black of the day, and we're going back to how it should be. So we'll continue the conversation till this burns up. And then I'm going to go get in the whatchamacallit, and then we'll mix it when I get out the gym. But my thing is, again, man, it's just society, as it improves, as technology takes over, as convenience arises, you get softer, you get softer, you get softer. When there are people who live without ever imagining any of the things that we have, and they build, they create, they have to make, they have to work for every single thing. But we live in a society where things are so easy and we take it for granted. We take this shit for fucking granted, you know, and get upset. Like, let's be realistic. Like the other day when the fucking YouTube went out, the world went into America went into a panic. You know, civilized countries, first world countries went into a panic. Other countries don't even know shit because they don't even fucking they don't get to watch YouTube. They don't fucking know what the fuck it is. Like, and so that's what I'm saying. The more modernized you get, the weaker you do get. You know, I want to say some of the falls of some of these great countries was the improvement in civilization, the improvement in modern technology. People got more and more comfortable. You know, people became, I'm not saying that being overly aggressive is a good thing, but people became less inclined to be prepared for certain situations. What, Dominic? Look, I want to believe you. You got to text that to the den line. You got to text me a link. I need proof of that. But here, let me put up the den line. So if y'all want to text your thoughts in, because again, like I say, Elegant Decay. Elegant Decay is a good one. I think I remember you mentioning that one before. You can text in the den line. We're not gonna take any calls tonight. Like I said, so we're waiting on the piece to get here. And once it gets here, hopefully the clarity will be fine and dandy. I won't be having to lean over here and try to hold the shit and get the shit back right, or having to fucking rig it up to get it to act right. Fucking, like, I mean, I guess I just never paid attention to fucking aux cords, but I guess they're backwards compatible. And so, you know what I'm saying? And I guess that you just got to make sure you got, I guess the more rings, the better. Shit, I don't fucking know. But it is what it is. But again, like I said, I thought you was talking about some real shit. You know what I mean? I mean, that's if it would be that, if that case came down to it, that would be very crazy. But I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised because of all the shit that happens nowadays. Motherfuckers get, it's just craziness, man. It really is. It's really baffling, the things that people get offended by. It's baffling, you know, the shit that people end up dying for. It's baffling the shit that people go to jail for. It's baffling that people cry offense about, you know. Download that disc about a caveman. See what I'm talking about? You young bucks, you know what I'm saying? I can remember the days of cartridges with fucking MIDI music. Y'all don't even know what MIDI music is. Y'all have no idea what MIDI music is. That was the fucking websites all had MIDI music. The fucking video games had that fucking shitty MIDI music. Now you guys need this stereo quality ambiance and all that other fucking shit. Like, Y'all motherfuckers, y'all ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't ready. It's over with for y'all. I gotta change that. I guess it's been a while since the fucking since I gotta change the fucking the Rumble shit, huh? The Royal Reefer Rumble. I gotta change all this shit. I ain't changed that shit at all. But again, you know, it's like it's craziness. Like I still actually got it, but it's funny though because I've got caught up in that. Because when I first got my bike, I think I bought 2 games, and they were on disc. And I'm like, my thing is, I keep my shit immaculate. Like, look, game comes out the console, it goes back into the fucking case. Shit ain't, motherfuckers just be laying they shit down, throwing they shit down, face down, then sitting there, why doesn't it work? I don't understand. You know. In the flea market games live, I remember they used to sell the fucking, the little fake Segas, but they actually played real Sega games. You know, and this was before they went with this old Nintendo throwback shit. Like, you go buy that bitch, and it had like, I think like 30 Sega games on it already. And then you could actually put the Sega game cartridges inside that bitch, and it would actually play them hoes. So there it is. I don't know, man. But again, I'm just concerned because I don't think the world is getting weak. I think America is getting weak. And I think we got to get back to, I'm going to start up no, I can't say that. Motherfucker would be the god banned. Because the first rule of that is you don't talk about that. So there's that. Looking for something here. Don't mind me. Hold on. I craft these things. Give me 1 second. Cut my sound off. I ain't letting y'all hear it. Now, I'll take care of that. And I'm gonna fuck the Red Sox, fuck Boston. Bitch ass Boston, fuck them. No, I'm nobody's leader. I'm not telling anybody to follow me. I'm trying to sustain me and mine. Me, the Honcho clan. Anybody who wants to follow that umbrella, cool. But I'm nobody's leader. In dark times, we gonna eat one way or another. We gonna figure something out. We may have to push it to the brink a little bit, but if it gets to, when it comes time to survive, we gonna make it shit. We gonna make it shake shit. So, I mean, it is what that is. It is what it is. What the fuck is hit the folks? Like, hit your people? Y'all over talking about some games and shit. The American 5-year-old versus Brazilian 5-year-old. Exactly. The fucking Brazilians know all that capoeira and shit. Motherfucking American 5-year-old going up there trying to hit the shoot dance. He gonna think the motherfucking Brazilian 5-year-old dancing with him and shit till he start getting kicked in the face and shit. He ain't gonna know what the fuck is going on. So, man, look, you gotta eat. You gotta eat, you know. So there's that. Puzzles. You don't want to think. You don't want to use your cranium. So there's that. Astros hope exploded. That's unfortunate. That's bad. But here's the thing. Astros, well, I don't know. I don't know if they'll be back. They may. They may not. Who knows? A lot of suspicious things took place. They don't want to see Houston winning. They don't want to see Houston thriving. They don't want to see Houston being successful. They just want to. They want to talk down on us. I don't want to talk about no fucking sports. We'll talk about sports and the multitude of sauces that will, be taking place. And like I say, we'll be doing some things differently in the den too. As I finish this blicka blacka. But yeah, like I say, you have to go start making some changes. Going to start, like I say, utilizing Discord more and some other things, very interesting things. Figure out a way to keep the conversation ongoing. And I think a way to keep everybody to be a part of the conversation, but keep it ongoing. Because like I said, I get it, man, you'd be surprised. I'm surprised by how many messages I fucking received throughout the days. Like, I don't know. But again, it's still a whole lot to go. Because phony moments, Xbox Live, so then keep that going. I don't know how fun that was. I'm sure that happens on PS4 and shit. I don't even want to think about the NBA right now. I don't know what the Rockets are up to. Injuries. The Wolves are a funny team, because you got a guy who doesn't want to be there. Everybody knows it. So why not try to bolster your chances for some long-term success? To me, that just says they don't believe in they don't have a mori for a manager who can finesse the bullshit into something worthwhile. And I think you got to start out like in high school and work your way up or some shit. I don't know how that works. Yeah, they want too much. Like, Butler's good, but you realize there's only a couple of teams reaching out to you. There's only a couple of teams that are going to be willing to part with that, because most of the other teams have to try to rebuild and think long term. The Rockets have all the pieces they need to just, implement Jimmy Butler and see some success. Most other teams are not going to part with any of that shit. They're not going to part with a star player just for Jimmy Butler, because then they're basically going to be in the same fucking conversation. So they better take them 4 picks. Like, oh, Eric Gordon's a like, what the fuck you think that's gonna do? Y'all were the clowns who kept Wiggins, and y'all try to finesse him when y'all had the chance for all that shit. Like, you want to talk about modern man? Modern Wolves are soft. That's what they are. You're talking about old school T Wolves. Who was that? Garnett and them in the gang. Who was that died? No, it wasn't Sealy. Was that Sealy that died? I'm not thinking of somebody else. But again, modern Wolves, soft. Softer than softball, goddamn. But here is, fuck. On that note, the Minnesota T-Girls. On that note, we need to call it a wrap. With that being said, it's definitely time to wrap it up. See what I did there? But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. A little throw it off. We'll be back at it. We'll be back on it. Word in the street, Kenneth beat up a Katy Tiger, but that was just Kenneth talking in the middle of the street to himself. Like I say, we'll be back at it mañana. Again, like I said, I'll be working on something. Try to start implementing a few things starting tomorrow via the den, via the sauce. And I think all the Christian episodes got erased, so I think the den I'm gonna have to restart that as a podcast. We'll see how that works. Kay Adams ain't thick and Joe Flacco's not elite. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's looking like I'm B.O.B. in the streams. yeah, I gotta do a better job of stream. I just gotta stream better, man. You know, I just gotta, you know, gotta figure it out. I don't know. Why is the sauce line not working? I don't know. You know. But I agree. I definitely do. Because if I'm ever going to reach the vision that I have in my mind, I have to improve. But here's the deal. Here is the dilly dally. I appreciate y'all. I fucks with y'all. My friends in the den. Tigers, Carmen Sandiego, all that other good stuff. I fucks with y'all, man. And again, I want to shout out to y'all, all the friends of the den who helped us reach this month's donation goal. And again, look forward to some new things, to some more new looks, to some new changes. I'm gonna be tweaking a couple of things until I feel like it's right. And then again, like I said, I want to know y'all's thought of some of the different looks. I didn't change it tonight, but of some of the different looks that I've been using lately. I mean, I'd like to know your thoughts. Which one do you guys feel is most den-esque as of late? Like, you know, this one is the cartoony one. I had the kind of gray and white one. I think it was a little transparent. I forgot what other one I used. And then, you know, the different backgrounds. I've used the Star Trek. Say the simple looks better. Black one with the waves. Little thing in the background. Okay. Like I said, I'm just trying to find the right, accurate look that just seems like the den. You know. So just tweaking some of the background, looking at different shit, tweaking some of the actual on-screen stuff, and we'll see. What is it? Some of the chats are hard to read. Okay, we'll get it all together. We'll get it all on point. All right. Well, I appreciate the input. Mixer crew, I'll probably be on the mixer sometime after midnight or so. Because like I said, I'm gonna go get it in the gym for a little while. Probably put it in for about an hour or so. And so instead of 12, it'll probably be closer to 12:30. And then let's see. You say give Rabbit a mod. We'll have to see. Yeah, he's up there. He's been putting in work. He has definitely been putting in work. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So I'll definitely think about that. I'll think about that while I'm getting my grizzly on in the gym ski. Let's see what happens with that. That's not a bad idea. Rabbit is here frequent and often, and he usually has plenty of strawberry milk for everybody. So we'll see what's up with that. But again, like I say, Mixer crew, I'll catch y'all probably about 12:30. Rest of y'all, everybody else, I fucks with y'all. We'll see y'all mañana. Again, if you fuck with Facebook, join the Den Facebook page. If you fuck with Facebook, join the Soft Sports Facebook group, not the page, but the group, because there's a group and a page, and all that other good stuff. So, with that being said, let's get back to the masculinity. Let's hit the weights. Masculinity, woo! But that's a bet. I fucks with y'all bad, and I'm out. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate it. Y'all ain't got to go home. I'll catch y'all in the mixer in about an hour. But watch the day in the kitchen doing fucking pull-ups on the counter and shit. But with that being said, I don't know. Just get the fuck out.